Всем привет, мои дорогие друзья, вы на канале Магарыча, и мы продолжаем проходить Vampyr. А как на русском это будет, вампир или вампир? Я вампир из Лондона, вампир лондонский. Состояние района очень тяжелое. Так, тут сейчас будет мудачье. Мудачье. It's locked, alright. Спиздили шиллинги последние. Гниды! Чё вы тут забыли? Сейчас пытаюсь, что забыли здесь? Йоу. Просто дубиной, блять, на нахуй. Сосать. Все, сосать. Я сказал. Сосать. Тут все забираем и уходим. Блять, еще. Тут еще есть. Как больно, наверное. Когтем поебу! На, блядь! Чё, блядь, козёл? Всё, блядь, пошел нахуй. Пиздуем, говорит, с леди Эшбери, блядь. А тут хер пойдешь, да, я так понимаю?
Good evening, Benjamin. Can I help you?
I'm afraid not, Mr. Reid.
Бля, у меня мигрени нет, извините. Хотя чё?
I'm not your boy.
Вот. А как мне, блядь? Давай. Просто хочу лекарство. Если такое возможно вообще. Дать ему лекарство, блядь. У меня же есть оно. Чувак, как тебе лекарство дать, блядь, заебал?
How are you? I'm not your...
Блядь, может, мне нужна подсказка, типа, чтобы, блядь, лекарство ему дать, блядь. Ну, блядь, да. Кто у нас тут? Это мертвый человечек. О. Что у нас тут? Я правильно иду? Сюда. Ага. Все правильно. Вот сюда теперь. Watchable Streets. По-хорошему надо вообще по диалоги-то заводить нахуй с персонажами, потому что много чего знаем о других.
Human blood. Whoever left these marks did so deliberately.
Ага. Ебать. Каких-то два ублюдка? Ты че, сука? Ой-ой-ой-ой-ой-ой-ой-ой-ой-ой-ой-ой-ой. Вы чё, блядь? Охуеть. Здравствуйте, блядь. Хуя себе, блядь. Да вы чё, уебались там? Готов. Следующий нахуй. Сука, сдохни, блядь. Да, блядь. Один готов. Ну, остался последний. Давайте, давайте. Сука. Все нахуй. Сать. Дебилы, блядь. Интересно, как мне, блядь, поставить эти, блядь, эти, например, вот это оружие, блядь. Оно не хочет. Типа там написано в сторону, куда-то надо нажать, блядь, а куда в сторону, блядь? Чего в сторону, блядь? Я хуй его знает. Теперь пойми. Ублюдка, надо избавиться. Ебать! 18 уровень? Вы серьезно? Я его победил.
I'm sure Albert would like to know he's been accepted by the Wet Boot Boys.
Ух ты как. Блять, сходить до Альберта, что ли? Давайте сходим. Недалеко, на самом деле, относительно. Он относительно недалеко. Блять, я не это хотел сделать, ну ладно. Обрадуем Альберта, блять. Вот только те что-то забыл, блять. Пешники. Алло.
I'm not.
I found the recruiter you were expecting. He's dead, but he carried a note. The Wet Boot Boys have accepted your application.
I knew it! I told you I was tough enough. I'll be free soon.
Free? You may soon find out that you have simply traded one set of shackles for another.
You're all fancy words, none of which concern me. Go worry about someone else. I'm fine and I have a future here.
Ну такое, блядь.
Goodbye, young man.
А сказать этому, что его мокрые ботинки поняли, блядь.
Good evening. A gun.
Ладно, хуй с вами. Что здесь у нас интересного? Есть что-то прикольное? Да не очень. А, нет, что-то можно мутить. Шиллинги. Ну, нормально, хоть что-то. Уайтчепл-стрит. Так. Никого, ничего. Все, идем к Эшбери и все рассказываем. Где это, блядь, Эшбери, ебаная,
I
нахуй?
cannot enter.
Блядь!
I'm all right. Don't waste.
Good evening. I'm Dr. Reid. Can I help at all?
No.
Really? Why are you here then?
I don't want to talk. My throat hurts too much.
I suppose that this pain is the reason you're here. Is someone taking care of you?
Yes. And no.
Could you at least tell me your name, sir?
Mortimer. Mortimer Goswick.
How painful is your throat, Mr. Goswick?
So painful I'd rather not talk at all, Doctor.
I'm sure you realize a doctor and his patient have to communicate, sir. Would it help if I gave you some paper and a pen?
Not really.
I see. Then maybe it's not just your throat that hurts, Mr. Goswick. Perhaps your sore throat is just the consequence of something more hurtful.
Yes, maybe. But I don't want to talk or even write about it now.
How painful. I'll let you get...
I'm alright. Don't waste your
Нет, что-то, блядь, тут темнишь, козел, говно, урод.
Tell me about...
I don't want to talk.
I have to go now, sir.
I'm alright. Don't waste your time with me.
You always knew the words to calm.
Good evening, madam.
It's my son who needs you, sir.
I'm Dr. Jonathan Rid. How can I help your son?
I'm Beatrice Goswick, mother of Mortimer Goswick. Could you check on him, please, Dr. Reed? I've heard much of your talents as a physician.
Ага, да, блядь.
What can you tell me about yourself, Mrs. Goswick?
Not much to say. Just take care of my Mortimer and I'll cover all the expenses. That's all that matters.
Are you really that rich? Most of the patients here are of a more humble origin, if I may say so.
Yes, thanks to my husband. May he rest in peace. I can cover any needed medical expenses.
May I ask if you have an occupation, Mrs. Goswick?
I'm a teacher by profession. I teach young women who are more ambitious about their futures than their families.
Хорошо.
What do you think of your reception here? Any complaints?
I have had the uttermost reservations about this hospital since we arrived. But we had no other choice, considering the state of emergency.
Is there something in particular that's bothering you?
Some of the staff were not especially welcoming. I suspect they're not accustomed to dealing with patients of such social standing.
Tell me more about your arrival at the Pembroke Hospital. What gave you such a bad first impression?
The ambulance driver was quite rude, for a start. And that nurse, Miss Hawkins, seems to have quite a dubious attitude.
What do you mean?
She managed to secure a bed for my son despite the epidemic. It was a relief, but it wasn't cheap.
I share your concern, Mrs. Goswick. Be sure that I'll talk to the people involved.
I don't expect compensation, Dr. Reed. But I'm aware such behavior would not be tolerated in other hospitals.
She charged you for a bed?
Yes, and I paid without question, considering the urgency of the situation.
Ага. Охуенно.
Goodbye.
Все, заебись, блядь.
I will not let you down, my boy.
Так, мне нужна моя корешиха, ебать. А на улице вот там, да? Ну все, пойдем. Ебать.
I would ask you to avert your eyes, sir. Or did you not know it was rude to stare?
I knew it.
Speak up, Dr. Reed. I like a man who speaks his mind.
You killed him. He trusted you. And you killed him.
Spare me your sarcasm, Jonathan. You are but newly born in this world.
So in the end, the accusation was true, wasn't it?
The situation is somewhat awkward nonetheless. I have not been observed sustaining myself for many decades. I have to say I'm a trifle embarrassed.
Anyway, I have concluded my inquiries concerning your blackmailer.
I see. Please excuse my agitated state. Under normal circumstances, I wouldn't let anyone see me in this condition.
I must confess I have not put an end to the blackmail, my lady. Unfortunately, I could not bring myself to do it.
I'm so disappointed in you, Jonathan. I didn't expect this from you.
Lady Ashbury, you yourself admitted how ridiculous the sum of money was. I can assure you it was all used for charitable ends.
Well, you are full of surprises, aren't you, Jonathan? All right, say I trust you, but you will still pay the ransom. That is only fair. After all, it was you who failed to bring this problem to a satisfactory conclusion.
I believe I could agree to that.
And since a lady always keeps her promises, I will now answer any questions you may have.
A vampire? Is that what I am? What we are?
Such a crude word, defined by penny dreadfuls and drunken hacks. No. You are now an Ekon, and that you shall remain.
So we are Ekons. How can I identify us amongst other vampires?
How to put it? All Ekon are vampires, but all vampires are not Ekon. We are but a branch of the immortal tree.
Are you an Ekon too?
Yes, I am. We are the closest thing to what man refers to as vampires. Forget what you think you know about us.
Охуеть, блять, вот это много информации.
I've been hearing a voice talking in my head. Is this some kind of insanity? It feels like the voice of the vampire that created me.
Hush. Tell no one this. It would be unwise to talk of such things amongst British immortals. Speak no more of your maker.
Excuse my forwardness, but are you my maker?
Me? Goodness, no. Only a foolish immortal would create a progeny without taking precaution, and I'm no fool.
Охуеть, какие потомки, блять.
How could this cause offense?
Only the powerful immortals can mentally call to their progeny. No vampire or hunter will sleep easy, knowing that an unidentified elder is stalking the streets of London.
Ну заебись.
I don't understand. Why was I created and then left for dead?
That is a question only the one who made you can answer. It's not normal practice. I doubt even if you find him, he will answer you, considering how cruelly he treated you.
I'd like to avoid creating another vampire by mistake anyway. Tell me, how is it done?
The process is dangerous. It could even kill your potential progeny. If you did decide to sire an offspring, they must drink of your blood, Jonathan.
Охуенно.
So me being a vampire could have been a mistake.
I very much doubt it, Jonathan. Contrary to the legends, it is not as simple to make another vampire by just biting someone.
Хорошо, блять.
I know this is beyond the pale, but may I inquire your age?
Really? And I thought you were gentlemen. If you must know, I'm 27. I've been 27 for a long time now, and 27 I shall remain.
And who bestowed upon you this eternal youth?
My maker. He left this isle a long time ago.
Very well. But I believe there is more to this than you are saying.
A lady has to have some secrets.
Ага, заебись, блядь.
Why does Dr. Suonsi allow you to feed on the patients of the hospital?
Dr. Suonsi is a good and compassionate man. He is trying to find a solution for our hunger. Until that happens, he is clever enough to understand that I only feed upon the dying.
And no one suspected you of the murders.
As you well know, suspicion has recently fallen on me of killing for pleasure. But you have my word, Jonathan. I take no pleasure in taking a life.
Ага.
What do you know about this Brotherhood of St. Paul's Stole?
The Brotherhood is well known amongst London vampire society. As long as our kind is discreet, and as long as they do not interfere, we have come to a mutual understanding.
Нормально, блядь.
Why did you save me in the canning factory?
I could hardly stand by and watch such a promising young blood as yourself be torn to shreds by some gutter scowl.
What type of vampire is a skull?
Not a true vampire. The deformed offspring of lesser vampires. It is a shame these creatures run wild, slaves to their baser instincts.
William Bishop wasn't the vampire that created me then?
No, Jonathan. Whatever their strength and demeanor, Skulls are the progeny of careless vampires. It cannot be the other way round.
Ага, хорошо.
Are there many vampires here in London?
Immortals are of a rare breed, and we often tend to hide. But you may occasionally meet some of us at night.
Will they all be as affable as you, my lady?
I do not see why not. But remember, even the shark smiles before he bites.
That sounds like a lesson from experience.
Vampire politics are as intricate and sometimes tedious as a game of chess in a gentleman's club. I've learned from experience it is best to decline to play.
Do you know any of them? Have you an idea of the identity of the vampire who attacked me?
You mean your maker? No, Jonathan, I have no clue. But I fear he or she is as careless as cruel. To let you discover your new condition by yourself.
What do you mean?
Every now and then, you may discover an immortal in the deep of the night. But we are a rare and reclusive breed. Our progeny is almost never accidental.
Блядь, как много информации. Ебать я о вампирах теперь знаю, блядь.
I've been away from London and England for 3 years. This isn't the city I remember.
Things have gone from bad to worse here, Jonathan. I've lived in this city for a long time, and I've never seen it like this.
What is it you fear?
Fear has long since flown this form. But there is something malevolent circling us. I feel fear is merely waiting in the wings.
The Spanish flu has hit London that bad.
Yes, but it's not just that. I've heard things. Things I've not heard for a very, very long time. There are whispers in the shadows. Something far worse than the Spanish flu is here in the city.
Ага.
When I awoke, changed, I was chased and attacked by vampire hunters. Prepared and well-trained.
Though I can't be certain, more than likely it was the once glorious Guard of Prewin.
You make them sound like some sort of cult.
More a society, and like all the best ones, a secret society. I thought them almost gone, but it seemed they have been recruiting.
Once glorious, but still dangerous.
They have seen better days, but all fanatics are dangerous. You would be wise to stay clear. They are sworn to destroy our kind.
Это хорошо, блядь, я буду иметь в курсе.
I bid you farewell. For now, my lady.
I must quickly analyze the blood I took from Nurse Crane's patient.
Ага. Где это сеструха? Да хуй знает, где эта сестра, блядь. Куда нас съебасти она сделала? Ладно, погнали к себе в кабинет. Суонси, блядь. А вот и кабинетик. Ну все, ёпта. Все, лекарство делали. Верно. И заебись.
Razvan Vasily was infected by Spanish flu, but also has the highly unstable blood of the Scowls. Is the London vampire epidemic transmitted through the flu? I should talk to Dr. Suonsi about it.
Ого, глава 3 уже, заебись. Сначала мы поспим. Так. Организм. Заебись. А. О, заебись. Не хватает, сука! 1300 вообще, блять, охуеть. Здесь тоже 1300, 2000, ебанешься. Надо прокачать, блядь. Охуенно, повысил уровень до 11. Отлично, я помог, получается. Причина и следствие. Доктор Суонси, где у нас, блядь?
Evening, Edgar. Could I get your professional opinion?
Please speak, but I have something important to tell you.
This strain of flu, it's very different from the one I saw in Europe. It's downright peculiar.
Really? What makes you say that?
I've just looked at the blood of one of our recently deceased.
I see. Do you have anything more to go on?
This disease spreads and looks like the Spanish flu, but its effects differ greatly. The London strain is different from the continental one.
This is very interesting. Did you find something else?
Yes. Unlike the flu, the infected begin to show an increase in outwardly aggressive behavior. More than simple agitation. Once docile people become violent.
You mean like rabies? Is there a chance we could create a vaccine, Jonathan, like Pasteur? By the stole, that would be smashing.
There's a lot we're not seeing here. But it is spreading, and quickly. If we don't act, the whole city could be lost.
But Jonathan, we've a fantastic opportunity sitting right here in front of us. A weapon of choice.
What on earth do you mean?
Why, you, my dear boy. With your expertise and your blood, we could isolate the properties that course through your veins. Think about the possibilities.
I admit it did occur to me. Blood seems to be the common factor in all of this.
I totally agree. We're in uncharted territory here. Maybe it's just wishful thinking, but imagine the possibilities.
We'll discuss this more later. Thank you for your time.
No, thank you, Jonathan. But as I said, I needed to talk to you. I have some rather bad news.
Yes?
I'm afraid it's your sister.
My sister?
She's to be buried this evening at Whitechapel Cemetery. Your mother published the obituary this morning.
I see.
I'm sorry, Jonathan. Please accept my condolences.
Блять. Надо на похороны идти. Что делать?
Good evening.
Good evening, Doctor.
Pepper, I know you're very close to Milton Hooks.
Yes, Milton Hooks is my man. If you want to report me for that, just feel free, Doctor.
I have no intention of reporting you, Nurse Hawkins. But are you aware of the risks?
The rules say I won't be allowed to work as a nurse anymore. But here at the Pembroke, we break rules all the time.
Is he worth the risk?
Hey, I'm no perfect woman, and Milton is not the finest bloke. But we do our best to get by. That's all any of us can hope for nowadays.
Да, блять. А где? Какая там баба?
Goodbye.
Какая медсестра там, блять? Хуёвничала. А, блять.
I never thought I would have to attend my murdered sister's funeral. Mary, I can't forgive myself. I'll find the truth about what happened to us. I swear. Good evening.
So it is...
Do we know each other?
Actually, yes. We met once before, at the Rockefeller University in New York.
Dr. Tippett, yes, I remember. I was assisting Professor Carell in his research about coronary bypasses. He had nothing but praise for you.
He was also very confident about your future. And look at you now. Eminent surgeon and blood transfusion specialist.
Так, погоди, чел.
Goodbye, Dr. Tippett. Good evening, Nurse Brand.
Good evening.
Нихуя.
Goodbye.
Да стоп, а там что-то... Я что-то не понял.
Good evening.
Doctor...
Do you need any medical assistance yourself, Doctor?
Come on.
Goodbye, Doctor.
Стоп. Я сейчас случайно нажал на Е. И блядь... Он у него спросил? Он у него, блядь, спросил? Серьезно? Блядь. Я нажал на Е, забыл эту функцию, потому что, сука, долбоёб. Где этот? Сука. Ебаклак, блядь.
Good evening.
Dr. Reed.
Сказка.
What can you tell me about the staff in the hospital?
Some are really good, and others are not so good. But during this troubled period, there is no time for slander. I prefer to focus on the positive character traits.
Я, кажется, понял, в чем
Any
прикол.
opinion about the management?
I don't always agree with Dr. Suonsi's reserve, but I must admit he does all he can to keep this facility running during this crisis.
Ah, yes, the burden of command. I was fed up with this concept while serving as a medical officer.
Don't get me wrong. Suonsi's a good administrator. I just wish he would get out of his office now and again.
Tell me more about cherished people, then.
Nurse Brannigan is a pearl. She is the most helpful and dedicated nurse I've ever worked with. A clever and cheerful woman.
You really seem to admire her skills.
I'll go even further. If she was a man, she would be a damn fine practitioner.
Отлично.
What is the Pembroke Hospital situation? And please, speak freely.
This hospital is not exactly the best of London. I'm sure you are used to working in a better environment.
It's more than enough. In any case, the personnel of a hospital are much more important to me than the building.
Don't be misled by appearances, Dr. Reed. This hospital does not lack talented people. It just lacks hope.
You're exhausting yourself, Corcoran. Maybe you should think about preserving your strength.
No, we must keep on healing all those poor souls. We are the last rampart before chaos. Once more unto the breach.
Nurse Brannigan is worried about you, Doctor.
She should not have told you that. I will have a word with her.
Не
You
надо.
don't have to blame her for her honesty.
I'm not that kind of man, my dear Jonathan. Actually, Nurse Brannigan's opinion is the only one I may listen to.
Do you need any medical...
Come on.
Goodbye.
Где эти мудаки, блядь?
How long's it going to take to fix me? Disapprove of our methods.
Good evening.
I'm okay. Kindly apologize.
How
So painful.
Why did your mother have you hospitalized here? She seems convinced this is a bad hospital.
My mother just wants the best for me. She won't rest while I'm here.
She'd go all the way to hell and back to help me.
Pembroke Hospital may look unorthodox, but rest assured you're in good hands here.
It's not me you have to convince, Dr. Reid. It's my mother.
Is your mother bothering you? As your doctor, I can ask her to leave you alone if you would prefer.
That's tempting, Doctor. But you have no idea what my mother is capable of. She would tie herself to my bed if you asked her to leave.
Охуенно.
Do you need any help?
I'm afraid I may, sir.
You are not a burden, sir. Healing you is my responsibility.
And you have my...
I have to go.
I'm alright. Don't waste your time.
Я дал лекарство. Все. Ты ничего не болеет. Восстановлен. Ну все. Что там, блядь, происходит? Сука, нахуй.
You don't mind if I search your pockets, do you, sir? You won't need any of these anyway. I'm not stealing from you, mister. I'm only redistributing your belongings to people who need them more than you. You see, no one has claimed your body, sir, so it would be such a shame to bury you with your...
Сука, тебе пизда!
valuables. I will not forget you, sir. And I thank you for your generous donation.
Блядь, Питер. Осуждаю. Хотел так сказать. Оговорочка.
Good evening, nurse.
Good evening.
Why does Dr. Tippett's claim you're the main reason he keeps working, despite his fatigue?
If it wasn't for him, I probably would have left the Pembroke years ago.
Dr. Tippett does not think of you as just a nurse anymore, does he?
If you're suggesting he's not taking my gender into consideration when it comes to medical practice and knowledge, I really hope he doesn't.
Сука какая, блядь.
Goodbye.
Так, теперь где эта гнида, блядь? Где эта сука? Так. Ага. Чё ты, ублюдок, блядь?
Good evening. I'm Dr. Reid.
Always a pleasure to meet a colleague, sir. Especially when he was supposedly dead.
A colleague. Are you a doctor too?
Not anymore, sir. I used to be Dr. Rakesh Chadana. Now, I'm just Mr. Chadana, pawnbroker and humble guardian of this morgue.
What do you mean, you used to be a doctor? Was your license revoked?
No, sir. It is just that I like to be precise. I run a little pawn shop while taking care of the dead. But I used to be a real doctor.
Please show...
Of course. It's just...
Ладно. Стоп.
Goody.
Чё
Please
там?
show me what you...
Of course. Good evening.
Have we met before?
I don't think so, sir. Why?
When we first talked, you said you were glad to meet me since I was reported dead.
Funny story, sir. Your sister came here a few nights ago. You were missing, and she was looking for your body. She must be very...
Да она сдохла, чувак, я иду на похороны, блядь.
Are you afraid or uneasy being surrounded by so many corpses?
Why should I? These bodies are empty vessels. Flesh left to decay. Poof. No soul anymore. All gone.
How did you get this job?
After I left the army, I worked as an undertaker down by the docks. A dangerous place with many an unpleasant business there. Milton Hooks helped me get a job here.
An interesting point of view. And quite an exotic one, too. Most people fear, or at least have a respect, for dead flesh.
Sir, as a medic during the war, I learned to face my death and the death of others. It's the pain we have to tame, not death itself.
Do you work here alone?
Yes, very easy work, sir. All I have to do is watch a few bodies. The situation was very different when the main morgue was still open.
Why close the hospital's main morgue?
It was for sanitary reasons after the beginning of the epidemic. Cadavers had to be moved to the nearest mass grave.
Why do you have to watch these bodies?
Because these poor fellows have no names. We keep them in case someone comes looking for the missing. Sadly, very rarely happens.
Ну все, сука. Личные вопросы, нахуй.
A pawnbroker? I expect you get all types of people here.
Yes, sir. All kind of people. For I sell all kind of goods.
What kind of goods?
With the quarantine, it's not always easy to buy things. So I trade. I exchange. Some people sell, some others buy. I like to help.
Who comes here to trade with you? It's very unhygienic, even unsafe. Diseases can spread. For the customers, for the hospital.
I'm very cautious, sir. I've been a doctor, remember? And all my clients are good people. In fact, I think I only know good people.
Since you're not afraid of dying, do you believe in life after death, Rakesh?
No. I believe we must do all the good we can while alive. For our time is short, and the obstacles are endless.
Do you think you would enjoy immortality as a concept?
I don't think so. Don't mistake me. I love life, and I'd like to live a long life. But everything has to decay, sir. Even goodwill.
So you're ready to die?
No, I am not. I don't fear death, for I won't see it. What troubles me is the pain my death will inflict to those I know.
You're a wise man, Mr. Chidana.
No, Dr. Reed. I am a foolish man. But I like to think otherwise.
Do you really believe goodwill cannot last?
As I said, sir, everything decays. If I was to never die, goodness, I would be bored or worse. And I like to be helpful, sir.
Quite depressing, wouldn't you say?
Yes, but the good news is, we'll all die before losing our humanity, sir.
Ну все, сука, давайте с пояснями за то, что ты пиздишь у мертвых, козел.
How dare you steal from the dead, Rakesh? Is that what your pawnbrokers is really about?
These people are dead, sir. What they possessed could be useful for the living. And I'm sure they would agree if they could speak.
Такого хуя не надо держать здесь, как бы. Нахуй он тут нужен, блядь. Он ворует, блядь, а потом пойдет там скажет, типа, а я не знаю, блядь.
Whatever your motive...
No offense, sir, but Dr. Suonsi is one of my
How these people... Whatever...
No offense.
How dare...
These people are dead.
Whatever your motive...
No offense, sir, but Dr.
Какой ты хуй, блядь.
Goodbye, man.
Сука, мразь какая, а? Ага. Новая подсказка. Ну ладно, надо уебать отсюда пока что. Идти на кладбище, блядь. На похороны своей сестры, блядь. What shadows read? Сколько же вас здесь? Сука. Ау. Вообще, брат, надо идти, блядь. Мне нужно вперед по улице и туда поворот. Вот сюда, да. Блять, еще одни, сука, уёбки. Пацаны, я просто иду на кладбище. Можно я пройду, извините, блять? Ты типа шаришь, блять? Козел ебаный, блять. Да отхватывай. Мудень, блять. Сосать нахуй. Да блять. Да так. Отсосать! Бля, хорошая дубинка, кстати. Ну, блядь, иди сюда, нахуй. Все, блядь, сдохни, подохни. Еще один. Отсоси. Все, блядь. Пошли нахуй. Ну, блядь, похорони сестру. Вы чё, козлы, блядь, нападаете, нахуй? Я ничего вам плохого не сделал.
I don't know if I have the strength.
Да вот, постиграть Данина надо. Сейчас спасем. Да блять. Да вы чё? Ой, блядь! Ебать, они меня зажали, пизда. Блять, это пизда. Блять. Не, я пойду все равно спашу. Спасу его. Вежливо ждут, сука. Блять, нет. Тихо. Вы чё, ёбки, блять? Так, один готов. Второй готов. Я тебя спасти хочу, дура, блядь. Я иду.
Are you all right, miss?
I don't know. Who were those people? They wanted to kill me. Why?
They've lost their minds in the epidemic. They won't come back for now.
You seem to know a lot about them, sir.
I'm Dr. Jonathan Rid. I'm investigating this disease.
I am Xiaoxun. Thank you so much for helping me, Mr. Reed. I must go to the cemetery now. Goodbye.
Shouldn't you...
Maybe later. But for now, I need...
Ну, найти беседу, блядь, что я тебе сделаю? Ух ты, еще. У меня возникает вопрос, что за хуйня здесь творится, блядь? Какое-то странное, блядь.
It's locked.
Какое-то странное говно здесь. Так не считаете? Ну, она, блядь, спрятаться, она боялась, она бы их могла развалить. По факту. Блять, извините. Чё, сука? Еще, блядь, двое бегут. Вы чё, ёбнулись? Сука, блядь, отсоси ты, блядь, пенис мой вампирский. Блять, сволота-то ебаная, нахуй. Блять. Так и ходи по кладбищу здесь, блять. Сдохнешь не за хуй собачий. Я правильно иду.
Since I can't reveal myself to my mother now, I must find a discreet spot to attend the ceremony.
I am the resurrection and the life. He that believeth in me, though he were dead, yet shall he live. And whosoever liveth and believeth in me shall never die. We commend unto thy hands of mercy, most merciful Father, the soul of our sister departed, and we commit her body to the ground. Earth to earth, ashes to ashes, dust to dust.
Why kill my Mary and stick her here in this cold, god-awful place?
These are the legal requirements for the epidemic, madam.
Oh, Avery, I feel so tired. Please take me home.
Yes, madam.
change one thing. One thing. This is a nightmare.
Jonathan, there is nothing you can do but accept it.
What brings you here?
I thought you could use the company. I am so sorry for your loss, Jonathan.
She was a good person. Vibrant, full of life. She was kindness incarnate, my Mary.
You're a good person, Jonathan. And a young Ekon. A newborn cast into the night without so much as a candle to guide your way.
She had been scouring the most dangerous parts of London in search of me. And it led to her death.
Jonathan, don't.
I still hear her last thoughts. They echo in my head. Her mind shattered, and it haunts me.
Jonathan, stop. Listen carefully. You must come to terms with this. You must learn to live with what happened.
How can I? I've destroyed my family. My poor mother. I can't even console her.
Don't you see? You're doing the work of our enemies, feeding your remorse. We are weakest when we grieve, and the guilt blurs our senses.
And so this is why you're here. To warn me. You felt this pain yourself. You too have endured this.
I don't want to lose you, Jonathan. I've lost so many friends. Loved ones I cherished. Pray for Mary's forgiveness, if you must.
You may be right.
Of course. I've stared upon this world for centuries, and time has taught me to deal with guilt, if not erase it.
What should I do then?
St. Mary's Church is not far from here. Go there and make your peace. Find the solace you need.
My lady wants me to confess.
No, Jonathan. It's you who wants to confess, I think.
Че у нас, кстати, вот задание висит? По вдову, блядь. Не могу понять. Понятно. Погнали до церкви дойдем. Блять, вот вы-то нахуй. Ай, вы всегда, блядь, так, кстати, пацаны, ебаный в рот, блядь. Так, дальше идем. Ебать! Я он что могет? Все. Адьос. Лучше бы скали ебашили, блядь. Тупни нахуй.
And off to church he goes, a newborn seeking divine consent to lick the blood from the soft and pointy crown.
Who are you? Make yourself known.
Newborn, you reek of guilt and pointless compassion. Shed your skin, forget your old weaker self.
What do you want from me?
Ascalon does not approve of lone wolves who bring unwanted eyes to our pastures.
So your name is Ascalon?
Ascalon's will is vampire law. Learn them, abide by them, or I shall return as your judge and jury.
Что за хер, блядь? Что выебывать, ски нахуй?
Immortals try my patience with their plans and unsolicited counsel.
Блядь, реально, хуй доебался, блядь. Я тут не охотиться, иду в церковь, блядь, помолиться, ты ублюдок, нахуй. Блядь, ну вот вас тут не хватало, нахуй. Чего, блядь? Ебать. Да, блядь, отсоси, нахуй. Ну давай, давай. Бля! Как так получилось, блин? Пиздец. Ёбаный пиздец. Такого быть не может. Мне так отпиздошили нелепо. Ой, блядь. Ну, не скали, походу, ебошек, блядь. Иди сюда. А где этот хуй? Умер? Сука, я тебя там чужу, уёбок, блядь. Ого, блядь, это твоя атака, да, блядь? Охуенная. До свидания, сука.
This man stunned me with his face, his crucifix.
Ага.
This is not good news.
Что там? Ничего там. Полезного нихуя.
Yes? What is it that you want?
I'm sorry to disturb you at such a late hour.
No worries, my son. I'm still quite awake, having just returned from a funeral.
Yes, I know. I've forgotten what I wanted. I don't know.
May I help you, child? You seem somewhat perturbed.
I haven't the strength to cross the threshold. I wish to pray, to cleanse my soul.
The church is shut by order of the bishop. But I'm still the vicar of St. Mary's, if that is any use to you, my son.
You seem to me a good soul, Vicar. But this is a personal matter.
There are no secrets from God, my son. If your heart needs comfort, consider me your chapel. for I can be as silent as stone.
I've words for one departed. They're not for living ears to hear.
Your eyes burn with rage, yet I see the pain that lies beyond. I am here to lighten the burden of all God's creatures. Whatever you tell me is between us and the Lord.
Very well, priest, as you seem quite adamant.
Open your heart, my son. Tell me what burdens you. With whom do you wish to speak?
She was my sister.
You seem so troubled by the loss of this girl. What happened to her?
She was murdered.
I see. And how are you feeling, my son?
I feel responsible. The pain is consuming me.
I have a final question for you, my son. This is of the utmost importance.
Ask your question, Vicar.
What words would you like to say to your poor sister?
I killed you. There's no excuse. My dear Mary, forgive me.
You have been heard, my son, and your burden will lighten if your words are sincere. Go in peace now and live your life in the way she would have wanted.
Я как бы исповедовался, правду сказал же. Так и есть. Ну что, дорогие друзья, на этом мы закончим данный выпуск. Вы пока подписывайтесь на канал, ставьте лайки, нажимайте на колокольчик, ставьте комментарии. И всем пока.